we can give the path facility. What policy generate? Repeatedly the launch of an initiative that will enrich and enhance language. An initiative aligned with the nation's digital aspirations, goals, and economic progress in technology, transportation, and communications. Controversies. We recommend that we use language. It's truly the backbone of India. In fact, Indian Railways is a lifeline providing employment opportunities. One of the largest employers in
Brightness,
India.
brightness.
The railways employ approximately 1.4 million people in India. Let's see.
All thought is
And we love that. We chat.
हाँ कि देखना ये कैसे कहाँ चेक
yeah.
चेक करने को जरूर नहीं थोड़ा बहुत देखना लाइक
All would provide a seat within
क्या कर रहा है क्या दे रहे क्या क्योंकि मैंने मोड़ा तो सुना
नहीं मैं भेज देता हूँ।
इसी फोटो में
right all.
बट्टे में क्या आवाज आ रही है आवाज आ रही है
Empowering all citizens, citizens, access to high quality content, information, and service. Access to nearly 1,108 mostly from the evening to Bangkok, Shamanagar to Portugal, and remote stations of the south and west to east. These of the world we are glad to have this gather on this mission.
चेक करो आवाज आ रही है
चेक कर
चेक करो
We saw growing peace. We will not request is why we say subscription channel upgrading for the user.
which mean
We can instant someone between the actual relation
नीचे आवाज नहीं आ रही हमारी आ रही है हाँ
now I'm taking that for the email.
एक मिनट में भेजा
Seeing now, you almost the body,
Kalyanam, Arogyam,
no something. Just purpose the emotions, different choices, May I hold my hand before the light that brings
prosperity, auspiciousness, good health, and abundance of wealth and destruction of the enemy's intellect. May I request everyone to kindly be seated on the stage, please? May I request all the dignitaries to please stay seated on the stage? I will now request our Managing Director and Global CEO, Mr. Thompson Nanam, to felicitate our chief guest, Shri Sanjay Kumarji, with a bouquet of flowers. I will now request Mr. Mohan Ram to kindly come up on stage. Please, sir. Requesting you to kindly felicitate our guest of honor, Mr. Manoj Tandon. And may I request Ms. Priya Gautam, our Chief Marketing Officer, to kindly come up on stage and kindly felicitate our Board of Directors. I will now request our distinguished dignitaries to kindly remain seated on the dais. And with this, we now begin with the main part of our agenda for the day. We begin with a welcome address, for which I would like to call on stage to the podium our non-executive independent chairman of 3i Infotech Limited. Sir.
Good morning. Good morning to you all. Our chief guest today, Chairman and Managing Director of RailTel, Mr. Sanjay Kumar, Director of Maintenance and Implementation of Projects from RailTel, Mr. Manoj Tandon, my colleagues on the of the board of 3i Infotech, Thompson, Sachs from NuRe, esteemed guests and media persons. At the outset, I would like to thank both our chief guest and our guest of honor for being here today at the launch of what we have termed as the nation's largest Wi-Fi monetization project, which is the initiative and a collaboration between RailTel, 3i Infotech, NuRe, and Fistoff. Friends, this is a defining moment for all of us. I would like to, what makes it more gratifying to me, and I think I echo the sentiments not just of my own, but of the board of 3i Infotech, of the management of 3i Infotech, NuRe, and everybody who is collaborating on this particular project. It's particularly gratifying because if I look back 9 years back, it's not even a decade. When I look back out there and I see the India through which I would think most of my life has witnessed. The current India of 9 years forms a very small part of that lifespan. And when I look back to that, and I look back to way the country was progressing in for decades altogether, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, for decades altogether, India was termed as a developing country. And the type of infrastructure we had, the type of governance we had, the type of systems, laws, regulations, licenses, controls, etc., that we had, seemed to suggest to any sane person that India would continue to be a developing country ad infinitum. We never even mentioned the word that this country would ever aspire to become a developed country. I think it is because of the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister that the country got a vision that we need to become from a developing country into a developed country, and he termed this period as the Amrit Kal for this country, and we must become a developed country. Now that's a vision. You know, I was recollecting just now when I was sitting here, having a vision is a difficult part, but definitely there are much more difficulties than just having a vision. I recollect, I think it was T.S. Eliot who said, you know, between the idea and the reality lies the shadow. Now, the idea is having India as a developed country in this Amrit Kal. And of course, the reality is what it was. So this required a huge transformation. India could not wait. It was not we were in a catch-up mode, as you can say. And it was due to the Prime Minister's vision that he realized, his commitment, that the only way this transformation can take place in this pyramid right from the top to the bottom, without which nothing is possible, right from the top to bottom, is technology. His commitment and his belief that this quantum leap is only possible through technology, he implemented that. And today what we have is possibly the only country in the world in the history of nations which has transformed itself technologically, especially in terms of digital India, in such a short span of 9 years. Remember, this is a country of now officially 1.4 billion people, but it would be no surprise if it was 1.5 also. 1.4 to 1.5. It is maybe 6 to 7 times what the United States is all about, and the challenges that we have with the diversity that we enjoy here. So this was possible, and today India is definitely on the digital map of the world. It leads the digital world, you can say, in all respects. So this technological change that took place, and the railways, as my friend out here when he was introducing our chief guest was saying, is obviously the lifeline of this country. It has been right from when we were developing more than 60, 70 years back to this day. And one of the areas where people can experience transformation actually happening, not on television, not in media, print media, or any other social media. The only place where they see it happening is the railways. You compare the railways of maybe 10 years back, 15 years back, right from the time we entered into the platform, to the ticketing business that you had, then the conveniences on the trains, the punctuality of the trains, and a host of other experiences. If you look at that, you find that today, this is a medium that every single individual in India, no matter how poor he is, experiences at some point of time in his lifespan. So the railways actually is a shining example of transformative India in the last 8 to 9 years. They've done a fantastic job. And for us at 3i, it's a very proud moment to be associated with with RailTel, which is a strategic partner of the railways, for this project of the launch of the product today. So friends, since we only have a very small window of approximately 2 hours at best for this event to roll out completely, I won't take much of your time because we have other speakers here who will share with you the technical details of what this is about, who will share with you what are the benefits that this consumers will have in and around the railway platform, and how this will be a strong transformative agent for 3i and for all the population that travels by train or visits our platforms and so on and so forth. And what is the future of this, and what are we looking at? RailTel also will share what are they looking at in this collaboration between 3i and the consortium that 3i leads. I can only assure my guests from RailTel that the board of 3i Infotech is very excited as far as this project is concerned. And we are not just excited, we are fully on board, and we intend to see it through successfully in the years to come. This, friends, is all I would like to say at the introductory part. And as the day rolls on, we will have further interactions, and ultimately we have a question and answer session also, which if people have any queries, doubts, they can ask the members of 3i and NuRe. So once again, I would like to thank Mr. Sanjay ji and Mr. Manoj ji for being present here and gracing this organization, and I welcome you all again on the launch of this historic project. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for this fabulous welcome address. And with that, we now would like to project a glimpse of NuRe Bharat network. Enjoy this curtain raiser.
Welcome to NuRe Bharat Network, an entity that leverages India's largest public free and paid internet Wi-Fi network, powered by RailTel across 60. Soon on the go. In partnership with RailTel, the 3i Infotech-led consortium with FISST and Yellow Inc. brings a wealth of experience and expertise to create a robust socio-commercial initiative that aligns with the Digital India and Connected Bharat initiative. Our aim is to provide a platform to connect customers from every metro, city, town, village of India, the second largest digital user base in the world. 60% of transactions done by 180 million e-shoppers are from tier 2 cities and smaller towns. By 2027, there will be over 400 million e-shoppers. NuRe Bharat network will be the gateway to the next 200 million digital customers of India. With high-speed free captive Wi-Fi internet connectivity and content-rich features, news, entertainment, shopping, education, and travel on the app, you can access all of this on the go. Captive Wi-Fi portal and the app will provide opportunities for national, regional and local brands and businesses to connect with millions of users via direct, programmatic, high-impact and targeted advertising solutions, helping farmers in their language, learning and skilling, hobbies and recreation, work from anywhere, fun and function, banking and finances, advertise your business, access information, buy, sell, learn, teach, all on the go, via 6,100 plus stations, hotspots, and counting. Now at railway stations, soon on the go, connecting millions daily, Bharat's bridge and network, across urban, rural boundaries. With NuRe Bharat network, you can now stay connected at the station, and soon on the go, connecting with the world, and accessing opportunities like never before. NuRe Bharat Network, a 3i Infotech-led consortium, powering India's digital revolution.
And now I'm sure we are all excited and can't wait to hear from our chief guest of this event, our respected Honorable Shri Sanjay Kumarji. Let us all put our hands together and give him a thunderous ovation as he walks up to the pod and shares his keynote address. Please, sir.
A very good morning, नमस्कार. स्टेज पर मेरे साथ मौजूद चेयरमैन 3i Infotech, MD, other directors, CEO NuRe Bharat, Director Projects, Operations and Marketing, Shri Manoj Tandon ji. Present guests in the audience, media, ladies and gentlemen. This has been much awaited for RailTel to find a strategic partner for monetizing our Wi-Fi network, which is probably world's largest Wi-Fi network under single SSID. More so when we are associated with Indian Railways, which is actually lifeline of the country. As we all know, Indian Railways has played a role in the development of a country since our independence. There's a common saying that one Australia is always traveling on Indian Railways. That is the size of Indian Railways. So that is the audience, target audience available for any such initiative. And as on date, around 1.7 lakh, around 1.7 crore, 1.7 million, sorry. So, people are daily logging in into our Wi-Fi network. And they are downloading huge amount of data. So we started this journey around 2015-16 when we partnered with Google. They saw the statistics and they believed that this can be a great enabler for taking internet to the, not only to the urban areas, but to the rural masses through Indian Railways, because roughly around, an estimate says that around 1 lakh villages out of total 6.5 lakh villages fall within the 5 kilometers radius of Indian Railways. So that is the local mass, apart from people who are traveling. And during those partnership days with Google, there were many stories which came to the fore that what can happen with the kind of internet available to the masses. We remember one coolie in Kerala who used our Wi-Fi during his spare time and cleared a state public service examination. Recently, when there was a flood and landslide in Northeast Frontier Railway, one railway station was completely isolated. There was no communication available, no mobile towers of any of the mobile service provider was available, but rail wire, this Wi-Fi was available. And then we rescued so many people. They could communicate with their near and dear ones for around more than 48 hours. They were stranded. This is how this is doing whatever we can do, wherever, innovatively. So this is there's immense potential, but RailTel was doing this for about 2 to 3 years because of COVID pandemic breakout. And now, prior to that we were doing with Google, so there were some monetization happening. So RailTel was running this show of course with the solidarity of Indian Railways, our patrons. And now we have found a partner, and I'm sure that with the innovative digital technology, they can attract a large number of advertisers, other innovative commercial initiatives they can take through their app which they have come out with, NuRe Bharat. I understand NuRe means could be new and Ray for railways or something else, I don't know. Okay, so this is New Railway Bharat, you can say. It's an acronym, you can say NuRe. So we will, I'm sure with the enthusiasm shown by 3i Infotech and their partner teams, including Mr. FISST, Mr. Mohan Ram, who is actually the, I would say, pivotal person. He has played a role of pivot in this complete story. And I cannot miss him while mentioning this at this event. I'm sure and I wish all the best to 3i Infotech team, RailTel team, that they will provide all the support to our strategic partner, because if the network is up, then only the systems and processes will work. Otherwise, there's no point. So there's huge responsibility on RailTel also to keep the APs and network up and running. With these words, I once again say thank to 3i Infotech, NuRe Bharat Network team for giving this opportunity today morning for me here, be here. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. That was very, very insightful. And उससे मुझे भी कुछ चीजें याद आ गई जो I thought it would be very interesting to share. Anyone in the audience? I mean, sir spoke about the size of the Indian Railways and all of that, right? But does anyone in the audience want to take a shot at what is the longest railway station name across the length and breadth of the country? Yeah. Sorry? Kharagpur? The longest station name, let me say it again. The longest name of a railway station. Sir ne bataya kitna, how vast it is, right? I mean, some 68,000 kilometers and all that stuff. But my question is slightly different, actually. What is the longest station name? Okay, I'll make it easy for you guys. So it's Venkata Narasimha Raja Varipeta on the Arakonam Renigunta section near Chennai. It said that we provide secure internet that in turn provides access to social media. Some very interesting bites, ladies and gentlemen. Facebook has over 320 million active users in India, making it the largest market for the platform globally. In 2020, around 70% of Facebook's users in India were from rural areas. According to a report by the Internet and Mobile Association of India and Nielsen. And Instagram, again, has over 200 million active users in India, with a significant portion of its user base coming from rural areas again. So great opportunity ahead for us. Well, there's a lot to share, but I know we are running short on time as well. So without any further ado, I would like to now request our Managing Director and Global CEO of the new 3i Infotech Limited, Mr. Thompson Nyanam, to reiterate our commitment to this engagement and landmark initiative and share his vision for NuRe Bharat network. Sir, please.
Good morning, everybody. And first of all, I'd like to welcome once again Chairman Sanjay Ji, Director Manoj Tandon, our Chairman Mr. Ashok Shah, Directors Zora Madam and Aruna Sharma. They have been our greatest support and a pillar of support for all of us in this initiative. It is a very, very ambitious initiative which we have. And definitely my colleague Sax Krishna, who will be leading the NuRe Bharat network. So before I get into the mission of NuRe Bharat, probably I would like to kind of touch upon a few points, in terms of setting the context of this new 3I. For everybody who's out here, 3I has been around for almost 30 years now. We were born out of a bank. We had our ups and downs. But for us, as a new team, we rebooted ourselves 2 years ago when the product division was carved out and the new 3I emerged as a debt-free company with the services business which was left with us in the listed company. So this is a very important point where we set ourselves a new course for ourselves. And we set ourselves with a goal saying that we'll be a billion-dollar company. And we also wanted to have a new vision, mission for ourselves and strategic priorities. So for the new 3I, we wanted to be a global one-stop shop for our customers to solve their business problems and drive business outcomes. And the mission also was to look at how to be a billion-dollar company, leveraging the best-in-class technologies and solving our customers' problems. And part of this rebranding and repositioning, the new 3I, were typically, we wanted to kind of call this 3 I's as innovate, incubate, and invent. And that was the core foundation in which we started off. So we are very proudly to say that we are a 2-year-old startup. We are reinventing ourselves, a new startup, which is 2 years old, setting very, very high targets and goals for ourselves. So that's broadly a kind of a quick introduction of the new 3I. And then we also wanted to kind of position ourselves with a new direction, and that's where we said we're going to build a new brand called NuRe, which is the NuRe which is there. And the NuRe is our new brand which symbolizes all the new products, platforms, and services. And New and Re are both cloud. New in Albanian is cloud, Re is also cloud. So NuRe, it is also a new ray of hope. And all our new initiatives, new businesses are branded around NuRe. So that's a very important point. And then we said that we are going to be a cloud first, digital inside, cognitive powered, edge ready company. And it is also very important for us to kind of set a midterm goal for ourselves. What will the new 3I be known for? Okay, we said we are going to be known to be an edge computing company, which will be powered by 5G, the next generation technologies, and we want to be a leader in edge computing. So whatever investments we had to do, we said we'll do it in edge computing, and that is very, very important for us for the future of the organization. So the reason I'm setting this context is I want to dwell into how this ties into this strategic project for us. Then also, if I look at certain strategic directions, which I'll again touch back in terms of how the RailTel projects beautifully converges in. One is we said we want to be a orchestrator who will solve business problems. We also wanted to go beyond our banking financial services legacy, which we are proud of, but we said that we are going to now build a telecom media entertainment vertical, not just selling to telcos, but sell through and sell with telcos. And that's where, again, if you look at it, how these synergies start playing. And we also wanted to build platforms and practices which are focused around the edge computing space. And last but not the least, the common question I keep getting is, Thomson, how will you be a billion-dollar company in the next 7 years now, because 2 years ago we set that goal for ourselves, by doing B2B to just normal IT services. That's where we said, we are going to do B2B2B business, which is, or B2B2C business, along with our normal services business. And that's the biggest opportunity which is in front of us. And we also started building new products and platforms by attracting entrepreneurs. Because again, necessity is the mother of invention. Now we want to bring in new entrepreneurs, bring them in the ecosystem, give them the freedom, the empowerment to develop products and platforms, and especially in edge. And that's where all these are now coming together very, very clearly. If I look at it, in the last 2 years, we have made huge progresses in edge computing in various platforms and products. In fact, we are incubating some of them in IIT Tech Park, Chennai, where we are building these new next generation products, especially in the 5G space as well. Now, coming back, how does all this converge into this project? Now, if I look at it, this project for 3i is one of the greatest opportunities to demonstrate this edge computing vision. And I'll tell you the reason why. Now, if I break down this edge computing, there is an edge cloud, huge opportunities to work with RailTel to build edge cloud in the deepest part of India. It's a great opportunity for both of us to work, where we can take the computing power to the edge of the network. That's one. Second is edge application. And now we are building this super app, which is going to be used by millions of consumers, and which is the power of an edge application, which is the second part of it. So we have edge cloud, we have edge application. The third is edge security. Now we need to have the best-in-class security from an edge security perspective, because the amount of users, the amount of data from a data privacy, data protection, and as we become a developed economy, the standards of data privacy and protection has to be really paramount. So this is on edge security. Last but not the least is edge analytics. Because now the analytics at the edge, with so much of data which is being generated in a project like this, this is like a cognitive computing company's, what do I say, this is the best ever opportunity for us to build recommendation engines and location-based services, hyper-segmentation, and this will all converge into delivering some of the best-in-class commercial models at the edge. And that is where this entire project becomes such a fantastic convergence for our stated intended direction versus where we are executing today. So for us at the 3i team, this is a great opportunity for us to execute our vision and mission in one project. So that's how important this project is for us. Because right from the super app, which we are going to see the initial version today, to how we are going to secure this how we are going to drive cognitive analytics to drive hyper segmentation, demographics, location-based insights for our customers who will be potential advertisers who are going to, advertise with us, other services providers. I think this is a great, fantastic opportunity. Finally, if I look at it, coming back to NuRe Bharat network, in my mind, this project, if I conservatively put it, and the reason why we wanted to keep it as a separate organization is because we see the immense potential of how this business can scale. On a conservative level, our outlook I've given as a listed company is a minimum of 1,000 crores in the next 5 years. This is conservative forecast. But sky's the limit if we are able to drive all the lines of businesses. And this is a great opportunity for us and RailTel, and because of very, very unique public-private partnership and a revenue share, and this is a massive opportunity. So coming back to us, it is very simple, two important deliverables for us as a team, and as Sachs will talk more about it. A, help RailTel monetize these assets, because that's a simple one-line deliverable for us of how we will monetize these assets, sweat these assets, maximize the value out of it. The number one deliverable for us would be to increase the unique users who are already at 1.7 million today per day to at least we are targeting 5 million in the next 1 year to 18 months. And that's the team target, I would say. The second is very, very clearly drive revenues, not just from advertisers, but also take it to the next level where we are now trying to see that how this could be the one-stop shop for every other services which can drive convenience, commerce, entertainment. It can be for anything. So I think NuRe Bharat network is a great project which is going to really not only achieve some of these capitalist deliverables, but I think this is going to give back to the society we belong. I firmly believe this is going to drive in a huge way, bridging the gap, bridging the digital divide. And I would also finally want to conclude by saying that it is very close to our value systems. NuRe Bharat network, because 3i believes that we are capitalists in our heart, in our mind, and socialists in our heart. With that, I would like to end, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was very inspirational. Well, it is now time to invite on stage our Chief Marketing Officer, Ms. Rangapriya Gautam, the brain behind the creation of the brand. We shall now have the unveiling of the PeopleNet logo video at the hands and in the presence of our respected honorable dignitaries on the stage and our audience here. Avi? All right, moving on. I'm sure many of us would be curious to understand the genesis of this very ambitious Wi-Fi monetization project. May I now call upon our guest of honor, Shri Manoj Tandonji, to share the genesis from conceptualization to this very special day. Am I audible? The world's largest integrated public Wi-Fi network is set to become bigger and better. Good morning to all. Chief Guest CMD Sir, Chairperson of 3i, Board of Directors of 3i, Board of Directors of RailTel, Shri Thompson, Chief Growth Officer Shri Sachs, media friends and dear colleagues. I am personally delighted to be part of this exciting and uncharted path of Wi-Fi monetization ever heard in the history of Wi-Fi in India. More so because I maneuvered and nurtured this seed from the beginning. Thanks a lot to 3i Fist Yellow Ink to organize this event and make it this NuRe. So I see NuRe as Nai Hope. This is going to be very exciting, a very different journey wherein we are going to bring a lot of partners, new partners on board, tweaking our strategy in between and continue our journey. I like this idea of this developing nation versus developed nations. Let's be developing nations throughout the life. Developed nations always have a complacency in place that they have developed and they don't have journey beyond that. Going to the history, in the era of digital deluge, in dense urban markets where biggies of telcos were fighting for revenue market share by pumping through thousands of crores in already overserved urban areas, RailTel, as one of the torch bearers of Digital India Mission, took a non-conventional path and invested into station Wi-Fi network to spread in entire Bharat, which has benefited millions. Some of the stories have come to us, like coolie or students or auto rickshaw driver and all, but I'm sure there must be thousands of stories which have not come to us. The digital economy, which has now evolved for the last few years, we are sure that until unless the internet reaches the masses, this will not be leveraged by people who are not so privileged in different rural areas and Bharat particular. Similarly, there are areas which are underserved or which are not connected properly even through LTE are served by us.
And we interacted with some of the people in past also on their experience part. The Wi-Fi network, people often ask this question in various industry forums I go, that is it relevant still? And I always say that India is a diverse country and it will continue to have diverse technologies to fulfill the needs of the people who are data hungry. The 4G will definitely be available, but not ubiquitous. So you will have alternate arrangements like Wi-Fi or fiber to home to quench the needs of digital Bharat. Personally, I feel proud to be part of this journey because I took the torch to bring Wi-Fi at 6100 stations from 400 stations in just 2.5 years of time frame. So this was very exciting journey. Thank you very much. And hence, this project of monetization is also very close to my heart. The real challenge with any public Wi-Fi network is actually a financial sustainable model, which we are trying to build now. We have tried in past earlier through incremental efforts where we launched the prepaid Wi-Fi model, which is available to public after half an hour of free Wi-Fi usage in stations. But this journey is definitely will be a different, and there are many products which are going to emerge from this journey. Because I remember the other day, it just looks like another day when I was trying to sell this to Mr. Mohan and 3i team about this idea of how do we capitalize the Wi-Fi footfall. We had seen a dip in the COVID time, but now we are all-time high, and the daily number users are now touching 1.7, 1.8 million per day, unique customers. Daily travelers on the stations are 23 million. So that means we are not even 10% of total travelers who are logging in. So that means there is a sufficient margin, a strong headroom exists there to scale this to reach much bigger numbers. So the potential is there. Only thing is how do we make aware people about this Wi-Fi and how do we sell the products, smaller products. You will see a lot of new products like Chota OTT pack at 10 rupees per day, which is never heard in India till now. You will see porter booking happening through mobile app. You will see food booking. So the idea is that how do we converge and bring all the travel, taxi. So people should not go to the food aggregators or taxi aggregators. They should come to this app. The difference between the captive portal strategy and the mobile app strategy is slightly different because captive portal will always be available at station, but the mobile app will be available on the go wherever you go. So there will be a lot of utilities built into the mobile app so that it can be used by people whether they are coming to a station or they are not coming to a station. So let's hope that the numbers of users swell in further and we make a lot of new brand ambassadors as chaiwalas or newspaper walas at station to scale this number and multiply it further. All the best to NuRe and 3i and all consultative partners to make it a bigger success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful sharing with all of us. Well, friends, in our lineup for this morning, we still have the demos of the captive portal and the mobile app, which I'm sure we all are very eager to witness. We will also have our very own Shri Sax Krishnaji share with us the mission of NuRe Bharat Network, followed by an edge of the seat fireside chat with a super exciting topic, the digital Bharat. Wow, this is all going to be getting even more exciting. But for now, we take a short break and we get back in 10 minutes. Okay? Tea is being served. So we'll take a short break and be back in 10 minutes. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think in the interest of time, we shall continue with the remaining part of our agenda for the morning. I'm sure we all had a great opportunity to network outside along with our tea, coffee. And without any further ado, we now call upon our CTO of NuRe Bharat Network, Mr. Ramu Bodatula, to show us the demo of the captive portal, which we can't wait to see. Over to you, Ramu.
Thank you, Nelson. Hey, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So before I start, let me, so as can't hear? Okay. It's hitting my face. Okay. So let me, as Manoj ji was telling, there's a minor difference between a captive portal and a mobile app. So let me explain what a captive portal is, just for the benefit of people who doesn't know what a captive portal is. So when we connect to any Wi-Fi hotspot at a hotel or an airport or a railway station or anywhere who gives free Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. So in order to ensure the person who is logging into the portal Wi-Fi hotspot, they would like to authenticate that person using the hotel number, last name, mobile number, or anything, right? So that is where the captive portal comes in. So captive portal is nothing but a simple web page which a user has to access and interact with before he gets connected to that network. So when he connects to a Wi-Fi, immediately he gets redirected to a captive portal page. So that is the first front end which he faces when he connects to a free Wi-Fi. So that is the captive portal. So that is what I am going to walk you through, explain what we have done so far on a captive portal that highlights the benefits and the scalability and the volume which everybody was talking about. Basically, when we tell 23 million passengers are traveling by trains every day, but we have only captured only 1.7 million of those audiences on a Wi-Fi hotspot. So there's room to expand, grow. So first thing we did was to ensure our captive portal can handle that load. So we have to go beyond that 1.8 million, which we handle today. So we've designed it in such a way that it can take more load. So we have tested it 5 times now. So made it scale, made it robust so that it can handle, sustain the volume which Thompson was also telling, right? That 5 million in the next primary objective which we did. And the next thing, what we wanted to do is ensure we meet our objectives, right? The objective is to monetize. Inserted provision for ads during this user experience, which he does while logging into the network. There are provision for, it's a simple authentication process. All a user has to give is mobile number. Based on his mobile number, an OTP is generated, he gets latched onto the network. And during this process, he is exposed to couple of ads during this journey. It's a 4-step or 5-step process depending on he's going to take a paid Wi-Fi or a free Wi-Fi, or if he's a repeat user, the number of steps vary depending on that. So we have inserted ads, which are basically some static ads, video ads, and banner ads, which he has to go through and then finally gets hooked into the network. And this whole platform can be leveraged by all these business entities, Bharat organizations, to do their campaignings and provide offers to passengers while they travel. So it's all geo-specific. Campaigning and ads can be done based on the geolocations. Okay. So the features which we have in the current release of the Wi-Fi portal, captive portal, is it's a 30 minutes free Wi-Fi. He logs into the Wi-Fi, he gets a free 30 minutes of internet access. And this is simple OTP-based authentication. And the last but not the least, an important one is, we have provided Hindi and English language support to them, so that even a Bharat consumer, a rural person can also connect if he knows Hindi. And the plan roadmap is to support other major Indian languages also. Okay, so now I'll just quickly walk you through how the captive portal will look like, and then we will see how it really works at a station. Let me do what, just give me a minute. I can share, Ayush. Share is disabled for me. We can share from his mobile? Okay. No, he also cannot share. So let's show how it works at a railway station. We can play this. Shadra. So one second. Pause. So we'll show how this captive portal, the user experience and how it works at a railway station. In the meanwhile, we'll solve these glitches we have on the Teams invite. So, Ayush.
आपका मोबाइल OTP गिरेगा उसमें हाँ OTP बस OTP आएगा 96 67 67 34 34 34
प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 3 पर आगे May I have your attention, please? From Delhi to Saharanpur, Ghaziabad, Meerut City.
ब्राउज़र कोई और भी है इसमें एक और टैब खोलना हो तो
सहारनपुर को जाने वाली प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 3 पर आगे May I have your attention, please? From Delhi to Saharanpur, Ghaziabad, Meerut City is arriving on platform number 3.
ठीक है चल गया
Okay. So this was done at a railway station here yesterday at Shadra. So we just took a passenger's phone and like we spoke to 4 people and 2 people were surprised to see, oh, you guys have ads on this? Free Wi-Fi? Oh, great, looks colorful now. So he didn't make any other comment other than telling it looks colorful, so many ads are coming. And 2 of them were telling, oh, you have Wi-Fi here? Oh, seriously? Okay, connect me. onto this free Wi-Fi. They offered their phone, and we were able to help them out how to navigate and connect. So it's a simple authentication process where the user gives his mobile number, and OTP was generated, and he got connected to the internet. Okay. I've shared. Okay. So I'll just walk you through a slow process of what they did at the railway station so that you can just get a clear view of what has happened, right? So this is the landing page. So as soon as I get connected to the Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, the phone get automatically redirected to this page where it says, welcome to RailTel high-speed Wi-Fi network. So then we have options. We have like static, as I said, static, ads, banners, which can be inserted. And this will dynamically change. So we have option to connect using browser. Going forward, we'll have another button which basically is going to tell connect using your mobile app, which is PicoNet's, PicoNet app. So people can click on that and the app gets opened and then they can get. So this Wi-Fi basically gives 30 minutes of 1 Mbps speed, but in the video you would have seen we got somewhere around like 7+ Mbps speed. So which is going to give better mileage for the passengers to use internet, right? So connect using browser is the button I click. Okay, and the next page comes in. This is where the user has to enter the mobile number. So let me enter my mobile number. So I just entered my mobile number, and as I'm waiting for my OTP, I don't know about the connectivity over here. OTP takes time. Okay, I got my OTP. Okay, invalid. Okay, my OTP is validated. So user has two options now. Either get into free Wi-Fi or a paid Wi-Fi. Just click on free Wi-Fi. Then there is a banner ad here. So the user has to watch it. Then I click on skip ad. He gets connected. So now he is free to use the internet for first 30 minutes. And then we have the backend, which basically tells the user once the 30-minute quota is over. So that's it. Any questions? Thank you.
That was cool, Ramu, if I may be permitted to say, since this is the cool generation that is truly digital native and will be the users and critics for improvement of these platforms, as will the businesses and advertiser communities present here and across the country. I would now like to call on stage CEO of NuRe Bharat Network, Shri Sax Krishnaji, to tell us about this amazing mission of the consortium. Please put your hands together.
You know, I was planning for this event. I was thinking of walking up and saying like this, Namaskara, Bharabharandan, but I could never imitate the big man, right? So, welcome. Thank you for taking a very valuable part of your day to come and join us. Just to summarize what we heard since morning when our chairman, Mr. Ashok Shah, started too, the CMD, Sanjay Jesse. This asset that India has called Indian Railways is so massive. It's sometimes unfathomable as to what that offers as a potential, especially when it comes to connecting the country. Traditionally, over the past many decades, I remember my childhood where we used to go on these train vacations, like book a whole coach, the extended family, 25 people, cooking on the railway stations, eating in the coach. So such great memories, but that's what made us connect across the country. I could go to my ancestral village in Palghat, train, enjoy the journey, come back. That's what connects us. That was a physical connection. We have come into an age where the digital connection is the fastest and the most relevant way of being connected. And so if we don't leverage that physical connection and transition and transform that to a digital connection, we really can't integrate, we really can't include, we really can't leverage this ecosystem of the entire cross and breadth of the country. And Railways provides us that. And because of Railways, RailTel provides us opportunity where they are already available as a digital grid in 6,108 stations. So we talked a lot about the so now I'm going to spend a few minutes trying to explain to you how this gets executed, right? What is the mission? What are we trying to solve? Who are you trying to serve? And what objectives do we have for this enterprise? Because this massive ecosystem can be leveraged, can be integrated, can be served, but you need to have an organized enterprise to do that. The next few minutes I'll explain what that organized enterprise is of NuRe Bharat Network, which is an entity which is basically a consortium of our three partners, led by 3i Infotech, the parent, as well as FIST, led by Mohan Ram and Yellow. If you could go to the next slide. So essentially, the entity, the enterprise, is trying to serve three large ecosystems. I'm using the word serve because that's our first purpose. Our first purpose is to serve these ecosystems. As we serve these ecosystems, there's opportunity, a commercial opportunity, a monetization opportunity, an opportunity to really leverage commerce across these three ecosystems. But the first objective is to serve these three ecosystems. What are these three ecosystems? The first ecosystem is, I call Bharat consumers. India, which is metro, which is urban, which has already got technology. We all have rollover bandwidths, worth hundreds and hundreds of GB on our phones. But as you start going away from metros, you start realizing how people choose between a free Wi-Fi, even if it is slightly slower, to a paid, a postpaid or prepaid connection. So Bharat consumers, that's the first ecosystem we'd like to connect, because that's what makes this country tick. It makes this country breathe, live. So that's the first ecosystem. I'll talk about each of these ecosystems, how we are serving them in the process, how the enterprise will commercialize the opportunity. The second ecosystem is what I call Bharat entrepreneurs. There's a friend of mine who runs this online artisan product shop. They pick up saris that are hand woven by artisans across Northeast, across very deep remote villages. Living in a remote corner outside in Assam is able to connect to a buyer across the borders. That is the genesis of what we are trying to do with the Bharat small sellers and entrepreneurs. We're giving them an opportunity to digitally connect with buyers across not just India to begin with, depending on what their products and packages are, but also across the globe. That's a second ecosystem. Now, to do this, again, you will need a lot of enterprise to be able to serve them, to be able to really get their products onto the marketplace. The third, which we all referred to if everybody referred to in their speech, is the advertisers, the sellers that are across this country, or maybe even outside this country, to be able to reach this massive, massive audience which is very underserved, which is very untapped, which has the same needs and aspirations of their cousins living in metros. How do we get them that access? How do we get them that opportunity to play in the ecosystem? So those are the three ecosystems that we are trying to serve, first of all. Serve them with content, serve them with opportunity to monetize their own talent or products, and the ability for sellers to reach them with data. Go to the next slide. Of course, when I say Bharat, 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 I don't mean to say we ignore urban and metros. Of course they exist. They are part of an ecosystem. But remember, who we're trying to serve? We're trying to serve Bharat. So let's talk about the first ecosystem. Bharat is both homogeneous and heterogeneous. That's what makes the diversity and unity. That's what makes it so interesting. So we want to connect Bharat to Bharat. Bharat को भारत से मिलाना है. भारत को इंडिया से मिलाना है. फिर भारत को दुनिया से मिलाना है. एक एक स्टेप. भारत को पहले भारत से मिलाना है. क्यों? क्योंकि this content, this community called Bharat has vernacular needs. They're all not English speaking. They are obviously very localized and polarized in terms of their languages. If I go to a remote village in Tamil Nadu, I don't think they'll understand a word of Hindi. Similarly, if I go to a remote village in Bihar or Darbhanga Jilla, they won't understand Tamil. So we are very polarized from that perspective and need to understand that and serve them that way. So how do you make Bharat meet Bharat? How do you make a Tamil Nadu village connect to a place which is outside their state or far away which they don't speak their language? So that's one idea. How do you connect them? Digitally connect them, because the platform can operate in 8 languages. And so they're all part of the same platform, even though they consume the platform, they consume this content in their own way, in their own language. So what is the content? Imagine a person waking up in the morning in some rural village. What's the first thing they would do probably is to listen to devotional songs, right, as they get ready for their tea. So serve them devotion, serve them astrology. Most of them guilty as charged. I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is to look at what my astrology says for the day, It's everybody's pastime, right? And so serve them astrology, serve them devotion, serve them music. So as they go through the day, their needs for the content changes. Keep serving that need for the content. The content shifts from entertainment to spiritual to education, to knowledge. Manoj ji or Sanjay ji explained that there was somebody who passed a competitive UPSC or Service Commission exam by accessing the station Wi-Fi and learning. What a fantastic example of how to bring this global village into the ecosystem of Wi-Fi, into the ecosystem of digital grid. So that's what we're trying to do for the consumers. We're first trying to serve them quality content. We're trying to serve them content which is relevant to them. Now, and a large cross-section of people in Bharat may not be interested in watching Air. I don't know if anybody watched Air, which got released in Prime Video 2 days ago. It was a great story of how Nike signed up Michael Jordan, which made them from 1 billion to multiple billions of dollars. Actually, Michael Jordan changed the way they engage, but that story for another day. But nobody might want to watch Air, but they might want to watch SARS, Bahu, and Flamingo, right, at a national level content. But if you go more regional, you need to have regional contents. So what are we doing? How are we doing this? We are integrating a whole bunch of vernacular regional content providers on the inventory side, so that we have the right content inventory for these people. That still doesn't solve the equation of how do you get the right content to the right people. That's where technology comes in. Guilty as charged, we are a tech company, we can't but stop thinking tech. So we bring in tech as a leverage, we bring in tech as an intervention. We have a transformational AI cognitive platform, which we are using for other applications too, but we want to deploy that for this environment. How? Somebody talked about this data available around these millions and millions of consumers, subscribers, passengers that are using Wi-Fi or that will use Wi-Fi as we increase that adoption from 1.7 to 5 to 10 to 12 million. User preference-based content serving. Either user prefers or the AI engine based on the demography. The demography could be what? Could be age, could be education background, could be the kind of geo they are in, how remote the geo is, the villages, the places they live in versus how connected it is, based on multiple factors, almost 23 to 24 different attributes that take into predicting what the preference will be. So we don't want to wait for them to opt in and say, oh, what are your preferences? If you go to any OTT app by yourself, you would have realized that they choose your languages, right? English, Hindi, Bengali, Tamil. Not necessary. We know based on their location, we know based on their name, we know based on their phone number, they are a high chance that they speak that language. They prefer this kind of content. So AI-based, predictive preference-based content serving, even before they actually give us any preferences, makes it easy for them. The whole purpose is, can we make this content serving easy, content consumption easy? Real-time curated content, right? We get content, we customize it, not to the extent of how it's served, not of course the content itself cannot be customized into these consumers. So that's a first ecosystem. Now what are we trying to do with this? Our focus is to give them quality content, purpose-driven content, which is when you go to education, when you go to searching for particular types of services or jobs, it becomes purpose-driven content. We're serving them just quality content to begin with, taking that to purpose-driven content so that their life gets more enriched. That's the first ecosystem. If you go to the next slide. The next ecosystem, as I talked about, is just artisans, right? Small sellers, you know, they also have very unique products, very unique, very localized. Sometimes the talent that lives there, the products that they weave or make is centuries old. It comes in families. Now we have to protect that. We need to protect that. The only way we can make them thrive is by giving them a commercial opportunity, by giving them a monetizable opportunity. Right, so so what we would do here is we will provide eventually, not today, but we will provide an e-commerce platform for them to get their products on the marketplace, to be visible, to be able to market, to be able to sell, to be able to engage commercially across the country. So this is the second ecosystem, which is more commercial driven. Commercial driven for whom? For the seller, which means first we are making their economic profile better. In the process, the entire ecosystem obviously makes money, obviously monetizes, right? So that's a second ecosystem that we are trying to serve, which again goes back to Sabke Saath, Sabke Vikas. Next slide is the biggest one. Now this is the big gorilla, right? There are sellers both within the boundaries and close to our boundaries who would love to get access to a market like this, would love to get access digitally to such a large number of potential buyers and consumers for their product. How do they get to them? Today, they get to them with physical branding. If you drive across outside any metro, tier 1 town and drive, you will see lots of billboards. Right? You'll have all the same celebrities making the same message on billboard, physical branding, right? Whereas this gives them an ability not just to do branding digitally, but also understand and target to who they are serving that ad. So the same technology that I talked about 2 slides ago becomes even more relevant, even more prevalent now, because now we're able to understand, look, Mr. Advertiser, you have this product, we'll give you a choice of attributes that they can choose to say, I want to target this product, and we have this very frequent example that me and Thompson take. There's a brand called Achi Masala. Now, Achi Masala is a South Indian brand, right? They've been very popular in South India. They probably came from the Chettinad region. Now, their markets are very limited as they get too far away from South India. Now, if I go and ask them, what's your next biggest market that you'd like to, they tell us it's East. It's Kolkata, it's Bengal. Why? Because the spices that they use are similar to the spices the coastal region in Kerala or Tamil Nadu use. So there's some. That's their market. Now they will come back and say, I want to target just in that region. So geo-targeting, profile-based ad serving, and product-based ad serving. What is the propensity of these consumers, of these Bharat consumers to consume or buy a product of a particular range, right? Beyond a particular range, they may not be able to afford it. It becomes unattractive to them. So that's to us, monetization of Wi-Fi is not a nuclear physics science or not a new concept, ladies and gentlemen. It's been around. What are we trying to do differently is this deep tech intervention to be able to understand the attributes of these ecosystems that we are trying to serve and make that more digitally served so that it takes less effort and time. It's instantaneous. So that's the 3 ecosystems that we are trying to serve. And of course, in each of these ecosystems, there is monetization opportunity for us and of course our partner, strategic partner, RailTel, At the time of the first consumer, content gets monetized. In the second ecosystem of small sellers, their product selling and the fact that we are giving them an e-commerce platform gets monetized. And the third ecosystem, which is advertisers, of course, for every ad impression that they put on the form factor that my colleague Ramu was demonstrating, it gets monetized. Right? But understand where I started from. Our objective was not how can I maximize the monetization. I believe that is a natural derivative of the serving of these three ecosystems. Our first objective and principle is to serve these three ecosystems for the objectives that they have and the lack of access that they have. Monetization is but a natural derivative. जैसे 3 years में बोलते हैं पैसा आपके पीछे भागेगा, सक्सेस आपके पीछे भागेगा, आप काम ठीक करते चलिए. So that's what we're trying to do, gentlemen. That's how we want to execute this enterprise. And also, like to Thompson's earlier point of capitalism and socialism, this is how we're trying to balance by starting with the first objective of serving them, and then arriving at the objective of monetization or making money. So socialism leading to capitalism and coexisting kind of in the same bracket, if you may. So how is it going to happen? That's going to happen through this super app, right? First, of course, you have the captive portal. That's first step for these consumers and subscribers to come in. And there are about 6 or 7 screens. Each screen has about 3 ads. So on an average, you're looking at 20 to 24 ads a person can potentially see. All of them may not see all the 24 ads, but you have the potential of serving 24 ads. And then you get into this app, mobile app. We are calling it super app loosely. It's not a super app yet. It will become a super app. A mobile app has to evolve as it gets more services, more integrations. Somebody talked about a porter service. We obviously have cab services. We have booking of food. Sitting in one station, I know I need to eat food after 4 stations. Can I book it now? Yes. Vendors are available, but they'll be onboarded here so they can book that. All that will happen through this app, mobile app, which will transform itself into a super app called PeopleNet, right? With that said, let me invite my colleague Ramu back and kind of show you what this app would look like. Now, few disclaimers. It's a beta version, if you may, but not very far from going production. We're just waiting for Google to finish their registration process so they can put it on their Play Store. It'll be available probably the next, I'm going to comment on behalf of Ramu now, in the next 2 weeks, that they will be able to download, and soon after that iOS, because Android, OS is different from iOS. It takes some time. iOS is a little bit more regimented, stringent process of getting on their platform. Of app stores might take a little bit more time, but at least we'll have Android, which I believe, if you take Bharat, I don't think Bharat buys iPhones. I think Bharat is perfectly fine with Android and other operating systems. So that's our intention. So we'll see what the app would look like. And like I said before, it'll evolve. But the core principles may remain the same. Ramu?
So now coming to the mobile app, let me explain what Sachs was mentioning. It will evolve. So the current version, what it supports, is highlighted here. So the benefit of the mobile app, the PeopleNet, is it will give a 4-hour free internet at the railway station at a speed of 5 Mbps. That's the benefit an user is going to get if he uses this app. So what it means is basically he has to connect with his mobile app at the railway station. So it will be triggered from that captive portal where there will be a button to tell connect using your app. He clicks on it, then this app opens and he gets connected to the internet. So it's a microservices-based architecture. As Sachs was mentioning, lots and lots of functionalities can be brought into this app. Just, there is no limit. You can think of anything, we can put it on the app. That's why we designed it as a microservices so that we can plug any function or feature into it. For example, porter service. I want to plug it in, I can just plug it in. Integrate with a person who is already doing it, make him as a partner rather than developing it. If there is something which we can develop, we will develop it as a module in that microservices-based architecture. Okay, and the services right now what is supported are the railways, bus, flight, hotels, holiday packages, infotainment, entertainment, all these are currently planned. But in the current version, what we have is listed here, basically user registration. I can register as myself as a user there using my mobile number and giving other demographic information like my age, education, where I live, all that can be provided, so which can be used for geo-based targeting any campaigns or offers, right? Then we have a PNR search, which I will demonstrate. Similarly, we can do a train schedule search, look at a train schedule. Then we have a capability to do campaigns and offers. Basically, if somebody is interested to push any campaigning, to do any campaigning, right, that can be done through the mobile app. Then we have provisioned OTT content like Netflix and Prime in the current version of the mobile app. And last but not the least is the cab booking. We have also provisioned with Uber and Ola in the current version of the mobile app. And the roadmap that's not the finite set. We will have more actually, but the next target is what we have listed there. So it will grow. That list will increase. With that, I'll just walk you through the version of the app which we have right now. Ayush. Okay, so, this is the login page. I've already registered myself as a user of PeoPoNet. So all I have to do is enter my mobile number and a password. Okay. Teams is slow. It's not refreshed.
The jiggle, add jiggle, you know.
Okay. So it just gives some geographic information like where you are currently and what the temperature is. And the functions we have are the railways, bus services, airline, hotels. Then we have the infotainment, education, then cab services. Okay. So going back to railways, so as I said, like we have PNR inquiry. So let me type in the PNR number. So this will take me to a next page where user is made to watch an ad because the search will take some time. So once he's done with it, like I skip this page, then it will show the PNR status.
So just to, so where it says test ad, because obviously we've not gone commercial yet with this, and that's why you have a test ad, because there's no authorized paid ad. But my colleague Prasad here has so many stories. He keeps telling me every day has 10 different opportunities of filling that box. Prasad, you want to share?
Namaste Bharat. Aim, idea, objective is roti, kapda, makan or Wi-Fi. Bharat ko Bharat se connect karana hai. What we are going to do is 6109 railway station is going to become Bharat ka mall. It will have everything. A for astrology, B for Bollywood, C for cricket, we are a cricket crazy country. D for devotion, E for edutainment, F for fun, F for food, F for fashion, F for film. We've already built a library of 50,000 films, all languages. G for games, we'll have best of the games. Bharat will play best of the games. This is what we are going to do with content. On one side, we'll have best of the content. Our app is going to be the most exciting app which has ever been launched in Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad. So similarly, we have like this train schedule. Okay. So I enter a train number to get the schedule. It's the same process like what happened last time when he did a PNR search. So after that, I click on the close button. It gives me a train schedule, the starting and the destination station for that particular train. Okay. So now as I said, we have provisioned this OTT. So I click on Netflix. If it's already installed, I have this page, which makes me take to this page where it allows me to open that particular app, Netflix. Or if it's not installed, it'll take him to the page where it'll make him install that Netflix. So I click on open, Netflix opens up. Okay. So we have the campaign and offers. You can see on the top right corner, 2 campaigns have happened. So click on it, so it'll take me to this page. So there is special train list, which has been published, which user wants to know, right? So that is one. I click on it, it takes me to the page where that announcement has happened. So they will get to know all these special trains, which have been published by the Indian Railways. Okay. Similarly, I have job openings. So we have a job, this is from a 3i Infotech career page. So there's a job opening for a Solaris administrator. I click on it, it takes me to the 3i Infotech career page. I can apply for that job. So these are some things which can be targeted. If I have an opening in a specific location in west or north or south or somewhere in the far east of inside interiors of Bihar, you can do this. So target those specific users and send this campaigning. So this will be launched soon, as Sachs mentioned, it's currently registered at Google website, so it will take some time to host it on their Play Store. So maybe 2 weeks or something like that. So then people can download and start using it. Sorry? Okay. You want to talk about it?
Come now, Priya, we should talk about the
You
logo.
should talk about PeopleNet website.
Genesis of the logo, and then you show them the content side. Sorry, I'm taking over your job, Nelson.
Thank you, everyone.
I wasn't prepared for this, but I think it is in the genesis of somebody who talks about brand, right? So it was very difficult to find a name which is apt, which is quick, which is easy to pronounce. But I had a big task to convince my people inside that this is the name that we should have. In our first cadence call, I remember, if you say, what is this Peepo? It sounds very cheapo, cheapo in Telugu and Tamil. Oh, that's so, then we said, so I said, okay, this is feeling a little claustrophobic for me because I thought a lot about this and I didn't have good sleep because I really wanted to convince somebody that this is it and this is what we want. So I took time and I caught Sachs off guard one evening and I said, Sachs, I need half an hour of your time. And the call went for 1.5 hours. I literally had to tell him why that name was good. So if you de-link PIPO, it's actually people in, people out. When you go to railway stations, people are coming in, they're moving out, they're coming in, they're moving out. So it is a circulation. So in my mind, the logo was like a circular motion, just like how people come and use the net and then again go. So came the ads in my mind. Everything was fictitious at that point of time because I still wasn't sure whether people are like this. So I told him that there's a situation. I gave the scene to him saying that, this gully cricket, everybody plays cricket like, Prasad also mentioned. India is a cricket crazy country and people want to know statistics and so on and so forth. So there's a scene which I'm taking you all to is these boys in a small town like the Lagan kind, right? They're all playing cricket, the gully cricket. And suddenly one guy says, hey bhaiya, aapne wo Dhoni ka wo shot dekha hai? So this guy said, nahi yaar, maine dekha hua, maine miss kiya. अरे बाबा जाके पीपो डाउनलोड कर लेना स्टेशन के पास से तुमको तो इंस्टेंटली तुमको पूरा ये सब बता देगा. So data is like that. Data is available and where we need to get is what we need to target. So having that as a concept, we came out with multiple ideas. Another one was women, right? We all love jewelry, we all like saris, and so there's this lady who's pumping water at one of these villages. She asks, hey, नया वाला वो पोन्नियन सेल्वन का वो ज्वेलरी देखा उसमें PS1, PS2, ऐश्वर्या राय ने बहुत सारा ज्वेलरी पहना हुआ है, वो साउथ इंडियन का ज्वेलरी है. तो बोलती कि नहीं मैंने नहीं देखा. अरे तुम स्टेशन के पास जाओ, पीपोनेट डाउनलोड का आधा घंटे में पूरा देख लो, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो और खरीद लो, तुम्हारे हस्बैंड को बता दो. That's the kind of ads we are thinking. We're going to work with multiple micro-influencers to penetrate this ad. So we wanted a very small Peepo, that is Peepo, and of course, so be it, we didn't get the name, so we have it PeepoNet. So it is connecting to the network that we want to connect. So it was God sent that I had to put PeepoNet. And that's the genesis of the ad. And today we just have a brief link to the website. We're populating the content. I'm banking on all my colleagues here who are going to make this robust content. And it's going to be a super app for all of us. So that's about it. And thank you so much for the opportunity to present Peepo.
Thank you.
Or the NuRe Bharat network, yeah, any of them.
Wow, people in, people out, connected to the network. I mean, I was myself mesmerized when I heard this morning. Thank you, Priya. And of course, thanks to our CEO of NuRe Bharat Network, Sachs, and as well as to Ramu for the beautiful demo. Well, we now finally come to the grand finale, the Fireside chat, which is final and yet another exciting part of our program today. We have a very interesting topic, ladies and gentlemen, the digital Bharat story, the socio-economic impact of connecting Bharat. And the participants are from NuRe Bharat Network, 3i Infotech Limited, and RailTel. The objective is to bring out the social connotations of the initiative and highlight the positive socio-economic impact of connecting with Bharat's vast and diverse populace. May I now invite on stage Mr. Mohan Ram, the CEO founder of FISST, who will also be our distinguished moderator for the panel discussion. Please, sir, welcome on stage. We will also now invite our non-executive director of 3i Infotech Limited, Dr. Aruna Sharma, Director, Projects, Operations and Maintenance, RailTel, and also our guest of honor, Mr. Manoj Tandon, our very own Managing Director and CEO of 3i Infotech Limited, Mr. Thompson Nyanam, and last but not the least, the CEO of NuRe Bharat Network, Mr. Sachs Krishna. Over to you, Mr. Mohan, all yours.
Hello. Thank you, Nelson, for this. I wish to thank Sanjay Kumar sir for honoring us being here, as well as the chairman and the board of directors of 3i. It's a great privilege to be here and hosting this fireside chat. See, this project has large implication, and a super app which has been planned has been my dream for almost 15 years. I've been with Railways for 20 years working, and they have given us the chance to do the it's been a testing ground for all the technologies which I have developed so far, right from speech recognition to various kinds of onboard housekeeping systems to various technology, multiple biometric, multi-factor biometric and all. So this is one more experiment with, I know Sanjay sir for almost 16 years. When we did the Patna call center project, he was the AGM in RailTel. He has grown with RailTel. I've also grown with railways. This project is of great importance and national importance. And Mr. Tandon convinced me, rather, he sold the project to me that we should be part of this. And I wish, I thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity because as Thompson pointed out, as well as Sachs Krishna explained about the thing, it has more brains have now worked together and brought it to a nice shape. So with that comment, I was yesterday checking with Sachs whether it is okay for me to come in dhoti and kurta, which is a typical South Indian attire, because we are connecting Bharat. That's a theme we have got. He said, if you are comfortable with anything, Mohan, it's okay. So we have a great set of panel here, and I would start with asking Sachs the question. How do you think this part of this project is going to contribute to the 5 trillion dream, what we have, and what type of connecting Bharat is in importance for this project on the whole? And like Mr. Manoj Tandon mentioned, you may have 5G, 4G, everything, but Wi-Fi plays an important role. Why do you think of that? Can you please come out with your thoughts?
Sure. It's a fantastic question because it aligns us to the vision of India, which is the 5 trillion economy. I think it doesn't need an economist to figure this, that if you don't leverage the populace outside the metros, the real Bharat, you're not going to really be able to achieve. It's going to be a lot harder to achieve the 5 trillion economy because there's so much economy which is untapped in those places that you need to do that. That's why this initiative, I believe, is a big contributing driver towards the $5 trillion economy. Because those 3 ecosystems that I presented, each one of them probably has in their output, in their cascading output of economy, has probably trillions of dollars to, millions and millions of dollars to contribute. So that's one, I believe, why this is so significant in terms of contributing to the $1 trillion economy. The second part of your question, if you don't mind repeating it for me.
Why do you think Wi-Fi is important in the context of
yes,
all
the 4Gs and the 5Gs and the 2? Yeah, yes, absolutely. See, it's a Wi-Fi, number one, and free Wi-Fi on top of that. I usually make this joke that this actually happened once. The person got out of a swanky Mercedes-Benz car, comes inside my house and says, can I get you a free Wi-Fi password? Now, you look at the guy getting out of the car, you don't think the guy needs a free Wi-Fi, right? That's your natural. But he will ask for a free Wi-Fi password. Because it's in our DNA that jab tak koi free mil raha hai, usko pehle, let's consume that, right? So the Wi-Fi and therefore free Wi-Fi, I think, are very important from that perspective, despite the coexistence of 4G, 5G. Now, 4G also not prevalent. Even the networks are still rolling out 4G in terms of being able to go to the last one, to the deep interior part of the country. Maybe Thompson wants to add.
Thank you. Now, Thompson, what do you think is the goal of Digital Bharat and this public-private partnership you have got between RailTel and the NuRe Bharat network led by 3i Consortium? How do you think it can contribute to Indian economy in a larger way and the ecosystem, what is surrounding the railway systems, how is it going to benefit?
Like I said when I spoke earlier as well, this is a great opportunity to deliver the true vision of Digital Bharat, because this is going to be a great opportunity for us to bridge both the worlds, the world of India and Bharat, very clearly. And like what Sachs spoke also, and this also helps us to build a massive marketplace which drives an economy which is still not tapped, the way I look at it. It's a great opportunity. It can also link into some of the national initiatives like, we are building the platform, which is the ONDC platform as well, right? It's a massive opportunity where the ONDC platform and our PeopleNet app can come together. And then this can be a game changer, if you look at it. Because if your vision of ONDC platform is to do exactly, can we provide a Flipkart, Amazon alternative to Bharat? That's about it. So I think there's a lot of convergence the way I look at it in what we are attempting to do and what is also some of the larger national priorities as well. I think if we are able to kind of build our roadmap in that direction, we could be a great accelerator of this digital Bharat dream.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you, Thompson. Coming to Mr. Manoj Tandon, sir, you have been the architect on building up from 400 stations to 6,000 stations, and you had a dream of connecting the Bharat. Now going forward, what kind of opportunities and challenges you foresee with the internet penetration going across? It is still only 700 million out of the 1.4 billion population. So how do you think, what are the challenges and opportunities you see in scaling it up?
Thank you, Mohan. The challenges, as I mentioned earlier, is that any such large network spread out in entire country has to have excellent maintenance to give user experience. Because people typically, this market, especially Wi-Fi market, is through, is propelled through a lot of advocacy by customers and by users and all. So challenges, on one side the challenges are there, but I see opportunities are much more than challenges. Like you mentioned, I mean, I have handled many projects in past 30 years of my operational life cycle. But I see that this project doesn't have any end. It's only a transformation which will continue to happen. The transformations have milestones, but no fixed goal, because goalposts are changing every day. Like you mentioned that helpline and all. I mean, one can be that, can you bring all helplines under this umbrella? Why should we have child helpline, women helpline, crime helpline, passenger helpline, train inquiry helpline? Through so many numbers, people do not even remember those numbers, forget about it.
Right.
So can you bring all these helplines? This is one big canvas actually. Similarly, when untoward situations happen during accident and all, people do not know where to go. Can this app be a repository of all emergency numbers, station by station, section by section, division by division, so that in emergencies people know where to reach? So in terms of touch points, similarly I was talking to Mohan that can railway staff, which is living near to railway stations or platforms, can they be part of this journey? There are smaller places where they are just few hundreds, even 50, 100 meters away from that. Can they be part of it so that they emotionally connect to this part of initiative also, like education or health packs to these guys. So it is just, I mean, if you can talk about use cases, I mean, I may talk further half an hour, 1 hour or so. So opportunities are much more, and yes, I know that there are challenges in terms of scaling up. In fact, I personally think now that we have to scale the Wi-Fi network beyond railway stations. We have almost 8,000 access network providers who are giving railway services, FTTH services. They are spread into so many villages. Can they be partner of this journey also? Because those partners already connected to us, already have relationship with us. Can they partner to expand Wi-Fi beyond railway stations? So vision-wise, transformation-wise, I think only the milestones can be defined. The end cannot be defined. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Ma'am, a quick question on, from the background, what you have regarding the socio-economic impact. What type of opportunities does the small and medium local guys have got in this Wi-Fi monetizing project, in your opinion?
Absolutely right, because two words, what we have been discussing since morning, I would like to add to it. One is inclusive growth, and second is no one is left behind, which is one of the SDG goal. Now here, by using a spread of what I will say is the network of RailTel across the country, and what has been rightly mentioned, many of the panchayats under the no-fin delay were connected by the RailTel. So they got the connectivity. So we talk of three connectivities. One, logistic, which railways and roads provide. Financial connectivity, which goes on the network connectivity, which is the third most important. And here you have a network connectivity everywhere. With this network connectivity, what has been very rightly been presented, it is both for the consumer and the seller. So it gives an opportunity, and what ONDC has been mentioned, the biggest gap in ONDC is the logistic support. Now here, railways logistic support, if it marries ONDC, then ONDC can give a run to the established e-commerce. Otherwise, you know, it's a slow starter. So it's a very big problem there, which can be solved by this network, an opportunity. And all the small manufacturers as well the buyers. It exposes them when the moment you close the gap of the logistics. The another very important thing which is going to provide an opportunity, what you said about the social education or connectivity, the spread is 500, and like I was discussing here, when you connect the station, it is not that I'm traveling by Rajdhani and it has got 5 stops, so I have an access on 5 stops. In between, I cross so many small railway stations. So even if my train is not stopping, now that is where the technology has to answer. In that gap, do I get the connectivity? So I get these patches of connectivity en route where downloading, watching will add on to the information. And when you talk of monetization, the small products can go, which are available in the next stations, or maybe the following stations. So that is what is going to train the whole route as you're going. So an inclusiveness will come, and it's an opportunity of those who are last in the queue, who are waiting, okay, someday we will get a network and then we will see what's this new, otherwise my catchment area is the neighborhood, how much I can travel with my product. So that catchment area you are giving an opportunity to increase, and if you're talking of a $5 trillion economy, without inclusiveness, not possible. And that's the opportunity you're providing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Most of you may know our Honorable Prime Minister's initiative, One Station, One Product has taken off. Something close to 565 stations are giving specialized artisan products. And we are planning to integrate that into our super app as well, giving the what Sachs spoke about, connecting Bharat to Bharat, India to Bharat, and Bharat to the world. So that's, I think, it's in the right direction. Sachs, you know, what types of strata do you think you will be able to cover using this project for the benefit of the, like what ma'am said, the last in the queue? How is this venture going to cater to the various strata? Do you have any strategies or thoughts on to that?
See, there are two properties that we're talking about. One is the initial 30-minute free Wi-Fi, and then when you go to super app, whatever we offer there as a package in terms of free. That democratizes the strata. The fundamental common platform called Wi-Fi being given free before they go to paid. Paid is when you get strata, right? So we have a universe before the strata comes in and saying it's democratized. It's whatever strata of the economy you are, as long as you're motivated to use free Wi-Fi and not spend your prepaid or postpaid data, then you're in the ecosystem. So we serve all of them together. Now, once they get in, their propensity to consume will be different, and that's why we have these various layers of both types of products and services and content that's being curated for different types of consumers, which could be driven either by needs, personal needs, or driven by strata, affordability. So it's very affordable for a person who comes from the last in the queue, and also affordable or attractive to the person who's first in the queue. So in a way, this kind of democratizes the state, if you may. We don't want to look at it as, am I differentiating the state of the haves and the have-nots, if you may. No, it is socialistic from that perspective. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Manoj sir, how do you feel that this initiative will empower the youth, especially 65? India is across the globe. India is the 65% of the population below 35 years of old, and a lot of people talk about the youth power. Do you see any impact on the youth from this project, or have you envisaged when you set up the 6,000 station to empowering the youth?
I think it's youth only which consumes most part of internet. So touching so many stations, so many rural areas passing through, it's a youth, especially at those stations. And there are, we all know that there are millions of people who have used internet on mobile first and not on laptop or desktop, if you compare globally. So youth is definitely to be empowered through this initiative. And for education or for the health sector, I think there are products which can be built across these services through which those people in those remote areas can get some livelihood out of this. So, youth is the thing for any internet. If you use internet, youth is the first user which will come forward and use it for their own purpose and their livelihood. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thompson. Thompson, with this digital explosion, like what ma'am mentioned and Sachs mentioned, security becomes the paramount importance of this. We have seen in the recent times a lot of breaches happening across the public network and people doing pranks and putting vulgar messages and other things. How do you plan to cater to the security of this entire infrastructure, what has been created, and an aggressive plan of reaching to the last mile? Security.
Yeah. Mohan, on a lighter note, I think this question you should have answered because you're the expert in it, but I'll try and answer that, to best of my knowledge. Like I said, see, edge security becomes extremely important. There's no running away from it. With the size and scale of data which you're going to generate and the size and scale of edge devices which are going to connect in a concurrent environment, it's mind-boggling, right? If you look at it, we are talking about 1.7 million users today, which is going to become 5 million to 10 million. We are having so many edge devices which are now getting linked. That's one. Second, every station has got a edge monitoring device in terms of whether it's a networking device or any of these devices which are there. All these becomes a target for potential cybersecurity breaches, right? So that's the reason why the entire security framework has to move from a centralized monitoring to at the edge. Unless we are able to provide top-notch SASE at the edge, which is secure access, secure entry at the edge, we will be vulnerable. So that is why one of the important things which we keep discussing in our entire architecture also is that how do we fortify the edge? How do you bring this best-in-class technology to the edge? Because that's paramount, because all the good work you do can be brought down by one breach, actually. So that's something which we have to work very closely with RailTel and try and see how we can, build that. And also, we need to use, now if you look at it, AI is also at a transformational level today. Now the biggest buzz today is now AI is getting into transformational AI. So we have to get AI at the edge to empower the edge with predictive monitoring systems, which only cognitive AI can do. So we'll have to build all these elements together and see how we can protect our edges.
Thank you. Nice. Final question to ma'am. Ma'am, India is going to come out with data privacy bill. It's open for the public to review and put it in place. Since you have played that role on telecom and pointing this, how do you avoid, what are the safeguards you would recommend to put the user data, what we are collecting, and respect the privacy, and how do we make the advertisement non-intrusive, and what sort of recommendations from a policy angle which government will not see it as a discomfort and trouble RailTel and us on that. So what do you think is should be the precautions? A word of wisdom from
Absolutely, absolutely well framed question, because the presentation which was made of the potential kind of commercials you can have and how it will go. But the answer lies into the AI. The amount of filters you put in the analytics of the areas of interest. And if you are able to streamline the areas of interest ads bombarding to a particular client, then yes, the chances of our interest. Plus, it is very important while designing the ad, or when you are accepting the ad into you, the closure button has to be in one side. The problem you find in this intrusive ad is sometimes it's at the top, sometimes in bottom, sometimes you have to look around. So that it's quite a put-off for your consumer. So I'm putting a consumer's hat and responding to you. Okay, it is very important that any person who is giving an ad to you, for it not to be intrusive, one, analytics, so that if you can put filters of the kind of ads which is reaching to the people. And second, what is very important is the closure. I think if you're not interested, you can put it off. Third most important is when you're talking of the predictable kind of a thing of the AI as to what could come, equally important is RailTel communication is having a very strong cybersecurity role because they're handling the traffic, so it's a very, very sensitive kind of telecommunications which they are having. So on that, you will have to work upon that your Wi-Fi adopts that kind of a security system, which is a very strong, robust kind of a system, and then work upon it. And that is going to go a very long way when you're providing. There was an intrusion, he can correct me on that, on your railway bookings. Somebody created, we detected it and we found that all your railway bookings were done in 5 minutes and then it's gone. So what somebody intruded on that is, if you have a time to open it at 8 o'clock in the morning, somebody was opening it at 7:55. And in that 5 minutes, all these traders and others and all those who were going to misuse it were booking their tickets and going off. And that punctuality then was corrected and taken care of. So this I'm giving you a small example where it was an interest of the commercial people who booked the tickets. But there could be other interest of fake news, other kind of things which are coming. So that filtering is very, very important. You have no other option to it. And talking about the privacy, yes, Puttaswamy judgment is very right. So you have to put an option in the sense that you are going here, you will be getting the commercial advertisements. So it's an informative thing for a person who is looking at, will protect you legally because you have to inform them that, okay, there will be commercials here, or areas of your interest, if you can put a filter, that will sail you through. Right.
Okay. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Some rapid fire questions to the audience here. Of course, railwaymen know about it, but the audience. You heard from Nelson about the longest station name. Can any one of you say what is the shortest station? It was a 28-character long one. What is the shortest station? Anybody?
I am not really sure, but I guess the shortest name is IB.
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 Yeah. Okay. One more. Where is it? You know? IB.
No. I guess that is the shortest name which I have heard of.
There is one more of the two characters. Any guesses? Anybody else? One character. IB. Okay, maybe. The input I have got is two characters. R.
Code is one character. Common public, it has to be name, which is two characters.
IB is the one name.
Yes.
Ode is another name. OD in Orissa. Sorry. IB is near in Orissa. OD is in Anand. So can any one of you say what was the first?
Mohan might.
What was the first workshop railway had? Since when? Railway workshop. First one established in the country. No, Perambur.
1862, we have.
Yeah, okay. Pre-independence, 1862 in Bihar, yes. That's the right one. Any guess on the mascot of Indian Railways? Anybody? Yeah? Yeah, give the mic to him, please.
Elephant, its name is Bholu, I guess.
Bolu, the god elephant. Yes, correct. Well done. Give him a clap.
Very good, very good.
Okay, the final question is, what is a diamond crossing? Have you heard of that? Yeah, who?
Again.
Anand. Give him the mic, please, so that you'll be just pass it on.
The diamond crossing is in Nagpur, and when two tracks cross each other, I think this is called diamond crossing.
Very correct. Give me a big clap. It's called the diamond crossing because the north, south, and east, west form a hash. That's Nagpur. So that's a diamond crossing. Well done, Anand. Thank you very much. So with this, we end the fire chat. As we had seen, it's a very important project with respect to the security and the opportunity, as well as building a 5 trillion economy. This project is going to play an important role. As you would have seen from the morning, we are committed to deliver this at the best level possible and make it one of the referenceable project across the globe, because nobody has done this before, and we will be learning collectively with the support of all of you and executing this project to the best of our abilities and hopefully achieve the goals what has been set for the project. I thank Thompson, Mr. Manoj Tandon, Madam Maruna, and Sachs for participating in this fire chat. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening and participating in the quiz. I was happy to hear to the answers what we had put in there. Thank you. All the best.
I will request all of you to please remain seated on the stage, and I will also now invite Sanjay ji, Ashok ji, Zora ma'am, and Priya ma'am. Please, can I also have you on stage? We are coming to the most important part actually, which is the handing over of the mementos. So,
Sir, please come. Please come.
to Mr. Sanjay. Request Mr. Thompson to hand over the memento to Mr. Sanjay. And to Mr. Mohan Ram. To Mr. Manoj Tandon. Mr. Thompson to Mr. Ashok Shah. Requesting Mr. Sachs Krishna to hand over the memento to Zora ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Mr. Manoj Tandon to hand over to Aruna ma'am. And Mr. Sanjay to hand over to Mr. Thompson. Mr. Ashok Shah to hand over the memento to Mr. Sachs Krishna.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Can we, Nelson, do we have the permission to get off the stage?
Requesting Priya to hand over to Mr. Mohan Ram. And finally, the team on the ground who makes this happen. This one goes to Mr. Anand Singh Chandel. May I request Mr. Anand Singh Chandel to kindly come up on stage? Anand has been our key point of contact and has been instrumental from day one of the Wi-Fi monetization project along with Shri Manoj Tandonji. He has been very supportive and has been our guiding star in helping develop the captive portal and facilitating approvals within RailTel. Thank you. We also wanted to give out a memento to Shri Chandraji, but he wasn't able to make it today. Instead, we have Mr. Harish Pavaria, who is GM NTP. May I request Mr. Harish to kindly come up on stage, please? I would like to request Mr. Mohan Ram to hand over the memento. And Ms. Zora ma'am to hand over the memento for Shri Chandraji.
Give it to Manoj.
All right, so one quick photograph, photo opportunity, the Kodak moment. Thank you, everyone. I may now I'll request you to come down and take your seats. And now I would finally like to call upon our CMO, Ms. Rangapriya Gautam, for her closing remarks.
So everyone want to him also.
What a wonderful and exciting morning it has been. It's been truly exhilarating to witness the launch of NuRe Bharat Network's super app, PipoNet, and PipoNet portal in partnership with RailTel. This initiative has the potential to bridge the urban-rural digital divide and provide high-quality content, information, and services to millions of daily users of the Indian Railways and the RailTel infrastructure. The Indian Railways is superbly crafted, gigantic enterprise, and the heart and soul of this network are we the people. Millions of us going in and out of stations, trains and other railway ancillaries, and hence people in and people out. Our distinguished guests and speakers have outlined the scope and expectations of this initiative and how it will contribute to achieving the goal of Digital Bharat. We are now more aware about the opportunities and challenges that come while connecting with Bharat's vast and diverse populace, and how this public-private partnership will play a significant role in uplifting India's economy. I want to express my gratitude to all the dignitaries who joined us today and shared their valuable insights, and to the stakeholders and partners of this initiative for putting together such a remarkable launch. It is the beginning of a new era in railway telecommunication, and we should be proud to witness this historic moment. to content creators and content syndicators of the world, to a tiny home business, to medium, large, or enterprises, to advertisers, to media managers, here's a shout out. This captive portal is your space. Use it well. All of Bharat is waiting. Tell, sell, the time has come. Finally, let us all pledge our support to this initiative and work towards making India a truly digital nation where every citizen has access to high quality content, information, and services. Thank you and have a great day ahead. We now proceed to lunch. I think if there's any question and answer sessions, I would request you all to come forward and take the questions. I think we have two more mementos. I would request Thompson and Mr. Sanjay ji to come over on the dais to give these two mementos to people who mean to us, and so it is important. To Mr. Manohar Rao, Director of Finance. I think finance is a very integral part of our being today, so request, yeah, thank you. Where's the memento? And to Dr. Chandramani Sharma, CBO RailTel, request Chandramani Sharma to come. Any of the media, if you have any question and answers, we can take them offline, or, we're available. Thank you. You would like to? Sure. Whom would you like to ask a question to? Yeah, we have our representative, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Sachs, somebody from the RailTel, Mr. Sanjay and Mr. Tandon, all of them are available. Request you all to be here.
I want to understand about the ownership of this app. Like, is this on a revenue sharing basis, or it is owned by 3i Infotech? How does this model work?
Yeah, so the entire project, just to give a background to it, it's a partnership between RailTel and 3i Infotech. And we have
Can you put mic closer?
Yeah, it's a partnership between RailTel and 3i Infotech, and we have a revenue sharing agreement with RailTel, and we share 40% of our revenues with RailTel. So that's the key construct of this partnership.
My question to RailTel is, like, are you open for more such partnerships, or it is exclusive agreement with the 3i Infotech?
One thing is that this entire partnership is, there are two aspects to it in terms of revenue. One is minimum guarantee, we call it MG. So that MG is actually 14 crores per year, and the contract is valid for 5 years, extendable to 2 more years. But anything going beyond stipulated revenue, and if it is, revenue share is between MG and 40% revenue share, whichever is highest payable to us. The entire monetization efforts has been put to contract after months and months of exercise. So this is a sole right currently to 3i in terms of 3i and its partner to monetize and share revenue with us. So we will not be able to entertain any other partner in between of this contract. Thank you.
And if someone wants to collaborate, suppose advertiser and all those things, will there be human interface, or it will be like an automatic onboarding of advertisers and the merchants like other apps do? Yeah, onboarding of advertisers and partners.
The relationships need to be still built. This is like I said, I don't think the advertisers have ever had access to this large an ecosystem. So that needs to be explained to them, right? So that requires some probably physical interactions. But the actual onboarding is a combination. Mostly it's digital, because they themselves have become digital. Advertisers also transmit their content or advertising digitally. So we have a system called ad server and all that integration that happens through which these ads get served, all the advertisement gets served on the platform.
And what's the roadmap for making this app operational? How many stations will the service be available? And what's the roadmap for expanding it?
So there are two stages. First is the captive portal, which we first demonstrated today, which I kept saying that multiple screens, each screen has multiple ads slots. So that is live as of today. If you go to a station, we actually showed that yesterday's recording, which is actually in a station, people accessing that captive portal. So you can do that today. The app itself, I think we mentioned that in the presentation, it's going through a Google registration process, beyond which in about 2 weeks it should be available, downloadable on the Play Store. And once you download it, any of the stations which has Wi-Fi where captive portal is working, app will also work.
So the mobile network will also work, and as well as the Wi-Fi of the railway. So it will be supported on all the networks.
No, sir. No, let me clarify. Our entire approach of this monetization project is based on RailTel's Wi-Fi, not privately available Wi-Fi private like Jio or Airtel, any of these providers' Wi-Fi. It is RailTel Wi-Fi. So when you talk about a mobile network, the Wi-Fi is provisioned by RailTel, which is available in the station. Once you leave the station or leave the perimeter of the station, to the extent that the router can do the radio signaling, you will lose the Wi-Fi. And then it's the consumer's choice whether they want to go to a paid operator network. We are not operating that.
But can they book services from the paid operator network?
If you're using an app, yes. If you're using a captive portal, that is captive by the name suggests. It is captive to the station. But if you're using an app, the app, as we said before, is on the go. It follows you. It doesn't have to be at the station only. If it follows you, you can connect to that app, you can access that app through a provider network and still book services and still use the app to do all the stuff the app provides as features.
And what's the roadmap of stations? How many stations will this be available initially?
So our intention is to make it available pan 6,108 stations. Wherever the Wi-Fi signal is operating today, both the captive portal and app should be available.
Thank you, I'm done.
Hi, I have a question for RailTel. As of now, the app, as you mentioned, is going to be available at 6,108 stations, right? So, but in total, you have a little over 7,200 stations in India, right? So, is there any plan to extend it to the maximum number of stations? That is first. The other question is, how do you address the, I'm sure the network has black spots and places where it is going down and the connectivity is not that good. So how do you plan to address that? What kind of roadmap do you have to you have plans to address the black spots within the network that RailTel has today?
I'm not very clear on the question part because your mic was away.
The first question is on the number of stations. Obviously, you are launching it at 6,108 stations today, but the total number of stations that we have in India is about 7,200 stations, right? A little over that. So, do you plan to extend it to the total number of stations that we have, or is it going to be only focused on these 6,000 stations?
So we covered all feasible stations and stations where passenger trains are stopping. So there are a lot of stations where passenger trains are not stopping and there are only goods trains are stopping. That means?
See, there are halt stations also where there is no railway station as such, but passenger trains are stopping there. So there's no infrastructure of railway station kind of thing available there. So most of the railway stations where railway station infrastructure is available, we have already covered. You're talking of including halt stations also.
Okay. And on the network, black spots, places where the connectivity is not that good? What are your plans to strengthen
See,
that?
depending upon the success of the story, we will certainly proliferate and cover most of the area of the station. Depending upon the footfall, people using it, so we'll certainly will expand it.
Okay.
So just to add to that, this is a access point delivered radio access network, Wi-Fi network, right? So you will not have the coverage, black holes as you're calling it, the coverage holes, as we keep saying that in the operator world, because the two towers are not close to each other. There's the middle called a coverage hole. That won't happen here. The intensity of the signal, because it's being used by many people, it's not propagating to the edge of the station.
Right.
That may require another access point to be put, another equipment to be put. But there'll be no coverage hole per se. Correct me if I'm wrong, Manoj Chandanji, you come from the RailTel world. There'll be no coverage hole.
Yes, there may be some coverage holes in remote areas and all. So, but as mentioned by CMD sir, is that depending on success story, we are committed to invest the revenue earned on the infrastructure to build up and to maintain it and to sustain it further. That's a commitment from management side.
Okay. And on the data security front, I'm sure as you are targeting the Bharat part, there are so many people who are not even aware of, I mean, whether they should be sharing their, information and what information is being shared. So will there be any kind of awareness campaign, or how do you want to approach that? Because that's a completely, I mean, I don't think many vendors have gone to the extent which I think you guys are going towards. So
it's a fair point. There is a lot of awareness campaign that's being designed. Phygital awareness campaign, both physical and digital awareness campaign, even to first know that there is a free Wi-Fi. There's a reason why only 10% of the travelers are even accessing, even though it's free. So they don't know, probably, because Indians, as I mentioned before, has a normal DNA to easily access anything that's free. So that's the first step, to get them to aware that there is a technology available for you to access without anything that you have to pay for. Along with that, we also, when we say free Wi-Fi, we are also saying free Wi-Fi, secured Wi-Fi. So we're going to explain to them what that security means in simple layman language. All these are going to be both phygital branding, meaning physical posters, education posters, or education, physical artifacts that are put at the station after necessary permissions are given, as well as whatever we do on the social media. Both will have, when we say free, along with it in the same breath, we are also saying secure. Otherwise, people have a tendency to say it's free, how secure can it be? You're saying free and secure. How secure? That we have a product that's been commercial grade security, cyber security product, which enterprises are using, and very effectively, right? We are using the same thing at the edge, like Thompson mentioned before, at the edge. Yeah.
And on the technology roadmap, of course, today you're talking about Wi-Fi, but I mean, the world is already moving towards Wi-Fi 6 as a standard. So is there any technology roadmap that you have for this to,
See, typically Wi-Fi 6 is more on the densification side. Wherever the high density of the people exist, there only Wi-Fi 6 is required. Otherwise, in a scattered environment, Wi-Fi 5 is enough. But as we move in the journey of the transformation, we are open to replace wherever the high density of people exist. We'll continue to monitor. So ultimately, if you are doing measurement and you are seeing the drops coming in or congestion coming in, we'll definitely would like to replace those with Wi-Fi 6.
Okay.
That's a commitment from our side.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was insightful questions.
तो ये भी सर्विस जुड़ा है बड़े बड़े जो एजुकेशन कंटेंट प्रोवाइडर हैं जो भी ला सकते हैं वो भी जुड़ा है
democratize education. See, today, for example, some of the large platforms are very expensive. How can a person in Bharat afford that? Can we bring affordable education to them? That's a great opportunity. So that is a big opportunity also where we look at from education being affordable for Bharat. And that will drive not only, that's why I said that's a balancing of capitalism and socialism. As we generate revenue, we're also kind of democratizing education. Instead of somebody paying 6,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees for a course, if somebody can pay 100 rupees and learn English, I think that's the biggest opportunity. We're talking about sheer volumes, talking about 700 million people downloading on-the-go English education. It's an opportunity.
सर अभी इसमें कल्चर, एजुकेशन, OTT प्लेटफॉर्म्स और आपने जोड़े आगे और इसमें क्या क्या जोड़ने वाले हैं?
सर आप इमेजिनेशन कैब सर्विस ले लीजिए कैब बुक करना है आपको स्टेशन में उतर रहे हैं स्टेशन पे मालूम है आपको कितने घंटे के तो कैब सर्विस ले लीजिए पोर्टर सर्विसेज ले लीजिए
Of the country today, right? If you want to look at how we can integrate that, just imagine you can bring a Bharat, equivalent of a Flipkart or Amazon, where you can link the buyers and sellers of true Bharat. I think that's the single biggest opportunity. It's a phenomenal opportunity the way we look at it.
Are we going to see more brands investing on this? Because now the brands are investing more on the OH campaigns and others. So brands will also come and participate, will promote.
That's a very, very interesting question because I'll tell you why. We are opening a new line of advertisements because even still we are struggling to kind of price this product because it's not your natural digital marketing, nor it is your above the line or any of the traditional ones. We are opening an all new channel. So this is a big opportunity.
We also want to connect with the tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Absolutely. And because I look at the feedback mechanism out of it. Because you look at it's absolutely hyper-local. It's micro-segmented. It's hyper-segmented. Location-based services. I think that's the way forward. See, if you look at it for telecom, a lot of us have telecom. We've been talking about location-based services for the last 20 years. But I think we can make it a reality. Really, absolutely to the lat-long level, you can provide somebody what he wants.
Answering to his question, so there was a ticket booking shown here. If you might have traveled on the Kanpur-Jhansi route, there is this place called Urai. And there is a ESLC Rasgulla which is not available anywhere in India, even today. Invariably, he runs short of amount of material. Invariably, half the customers come empty-handed because he is not having material. So imagine if somebody is booking a ticket and he is asked on contextual point that, do you want to book Urai Rasgulla also during the way? It will deliver at your birth. What is your birth number? Please tell me. N number of examples can come. So that's what I said. It's a transformation journey. We will not able to define, but we'll quickly onboard a lot of things.
सर एक सवाल और ये सारे आइडियाज़ का प्रोसेस कहाँ से शुरू हुआ सर?
It's a team which actually has come out.
संजय जी मनोज जी का
ऐसा है कि ये हम लोग ने 2015-16 में गूगल के साथ पार्टनर करके ये शुरू किया था। उस समय हमारी डेली जो सब्सक्रिप्शन कहें उसको इट वाज फ्री अराउंड 2.4 to 2.5 million थी and it was mostly at the major railway stations, you can say around 500 stations, 415 उसके बाद कोविड पेंडेमिक ब्रेकआउट हुआ तो अभी हम लोग ट्रेन मूवमेंट भी थोड़ा सी मुश्किल होती थी ट्रेन मूवमेंट भी दोबारा से शुरू हुई इस स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के थ्रू एक तो हम लोग चाहेंगे, हमारा टारगेट होगा जो हमारा 1.7 1.8 मिलियन है. So there are more than 20 to 23 million people are traveling every day. पहली चीज़ तो उनको इस पे लाना है, इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाना है. अभी थोड़ा सा कम बसम प्रोसेस है, बिकॉज एक OTP भेजते हैं, फिर वो उसमें डालते हैं. इस ऐप को डाउनलोड करने के बाद उनको ये सब करने की ज़रूरत होगी. इट विल बी ईजी टू यूज़. कि once he logs in, and then he is always logged.
Yeah, he's always verified.
Because it is authenticated. जैसे आप अपना बैंक का, right? So every time it doesn't ask you authentication. It becomes easier for the user to use. तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा फ़ायदा होने वाला है. और उसके साथ साथ ये अपना कमर्शियल जो भी इनोवेटिव मेथड्स लाएंगे, उससे रेवेन्यू जनरेट करेंगे, वो हमारे साथ शेयर करेंगे.
The app will also tell you that you are in a station Wi-Fi network now. Today, half of the people are not aware that Wi-Fi exists there. If you download app, it will actually pop up saying that you already in Wi-Fi zone. Please switch on.
So one more question. Living in a country like a democratic country like India, where the dialects get changed at every point. So are we going to provide the content in more languages also?
Yes. Yes. It's only about 8 languages right now.
You have to. So talking of Bharat, अगर आप भारत की बात करते हैं, तो उसके बिना ये संभव नहीं हो सकता.
Even the immediate one beyond Indian English, we're going with 8. But as you rightly said, this has to get more hyperlocal.
Yes.
So maybe we can even get to a dialect level, sometime. That's why this is the transformation journey. This doesn't end.
Ever evolving.
Ever evolving.
We are working on some platforms which are natural language processing platforms, which have the ability to recognize and proliferate dialects.
Exactly.
Evolution.
This can be a real story of PPP, which are not, I think there are not many stories in India.
Yeah, exactly.
Except you talk of roadways, highway. Other than that, there are not many stories.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Please.
Hi.
Supporting पर लगा दीजिए.
देखिए सर
क्या दिखाना चाहती हूँ? क्या जरूरत पड़ी इस ऐप को लॉन्च करने की? क्या बेनिफिट होने वाला है?
तो पहले तो ये रेलटेल का वाईफाई के प्लेटफॉर्म, वाईफाई का वो जो नेटवर्क है उसके ऊपर है. बाकी जो ऐप्स है वो बाहर आपका पोस्टपेड जो आपका ऑपरेटर प्रोवाइडेड नेटवर्क है उससे आप एक्सेस करते हैं. ये स्टेशन में बैठे हुए आधा घंटा वेट, 1 घंटा भी हो सकता है, लेकिन आधा घंटा फ्री वाईफाई मिल के वो लोग कंटेंट भी देख सकते हैं, ट्रांसैक्ट भी कर सकते हैं, खरीद भी सकते हैं. वो सब उसी इकोसिस्टम ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म में होने वाला है. उस स्टेशन में फ्री, अगर कोई और फ्री वाईफाई दे के इतना ही बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म, इतना ही बड़ा सुविधा वाला ऐप अगर दे सकता है, वो कंपटीशन बन सकता है. आज तक तो है.
बिल्कुल. अच्छा सर, बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी नहीं, चूँकि आपने फ्री वाईफाई की बात की तो कई बार ऐसे देखिए वाईफाई लिमिटेड होता है और उसके बाद फिर वो कई सारी चीज़ों को एक्सेस नहीं कर पाता. कहीं उसका एक्सप्लोर बहुत सारी चीज़ें हम एक्सप्लोर करना चाहते हैं, चाहे वो गूगल प्लेटफॉर्म पे किसी तो नहीं होती एक्सेस. तो क्या उसके लिए रुकावट होगा या कुछ एक्सेस रहेगा?
मेरे ख्याल से तो
दो थिंग्स. वन इज आपने जो बेसिक क्वेश्चन पूछा ऐप के बारे में.
हाँ सर.
ऐप है वो एक ऐसा ऐप है जो कन्वर्ट्स करेगा बहुत सारी चीज़. आज आपका टिकट इंक्वायरी, फूड एग्रीगेशन, टैक्सी, ट्रैवल टूरिज्म, एस्ट्रोलॉजी, एजुकेशन सब डिस्पर्स है. बहुत डिस्पैरेट सिस्टम है ऐप का. तो ये एक उस डायरेक्शन में है कि हम कन्वर्जेंस कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज एक ही सेट ऑफ पीपल को डिफरेंट चीज़ चाहिए होती है डिफरेंट टाइम ऑफ इंटरवल. तो ये एक यूनिक प्रपोजिशन लाता है टुवर्ड्स कस्टमर, ऑफ कोर्स विद वाईफाई अटैच्ड. दूसरा आपका जो क्वेश्चन था कि ये चलेगा, यस. कैप्टिव पोर्टल अगर रहेगा तो केवल वाईफाई जोन में काम करेगा, बट मोबाइल ऐप थ्रू आउट काम करेगा. So that means the utility of this app is not linked to or captive to station only. It's going to work
beyond all boundaries, even on LTE or even your home Wi-Fi also.
बिल्कुल, अगर आप मोबाइल में हमारे पास पीपो नहीं है तो फिर हम उसको एक्सेस नहीं कर सकते इस वाईफाई को फ्री।
नहीं, ऐप को आप कहीं भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं, स्टेशन पे भी कर सकते हैं, और स्टेशन पे आप फर्स्ट हाफ एन आवर फ्री होगा, आप LTE पे जाते हैं, होम वाईफाई पे जाते हैं, तो आपको सब जगह चलेगा, ऐप तो सब जगह चलने वाला है।
बिल्कुल, ये एक नया बिल्कुल जो वाईफाई फ्री वाईफाई का है, क्या क्या फीचर्स हैं, थोड़ा बताइए प्लीज़।
फीचर्स से मैंने बताया कि कुछ मैंने भी एक्सप्लेन किए थे, वाईफाई फीचर्स हैं,
gone to it, and then you are using it. Okay. And then word of mouth, of course, will help us. Some of the small branding measures we'll begin with, our partners will begin with, and then later on we'll continuously evolve it.
Okay. You want to target any number like 10 to 15 million for this?
I cannot comment any number right now, maybe because that thing is being planned with partners.
Okay.
So certainly they will see that how the magnet is going to attract advertisers, because they are the ultimately revenue generating project.
रेवेन्यू कर सकते हैं, नॉन पे रेवेन्यू में अच्छा खासा आप स्पेस देखते हैं, इसमें क्या लगता है कितने
आप कैप्चर होता है वो डेटा सेंटर में सिक्योर्ड है, हमारा डेटा सेंटर है वो IT STQC सर्टिफाइड है, इसलिए सिक्योरिटी का अभी तक रिजल्ट नहीं है, इसलिए इसका ऐड से लिंक करना ये सिक्योरिटी। थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू।
ऑडियो बस गया,
मिल जाएगा।
तुम यहाँ से क्यों पकड़ते हो? यहाँ से बहुत भीड़ रहता है, नीचे से यहाँ से यहीं से नहीं हिल रहा। अब भाई बहुत हिल रहा है। तुम्हारा ये पता है क्यों? तुम्हारा आदत नहीं, अगर एक बार आदत हो गया ना कभी नहीं हिल रहा है। और ये जो तुम इसे पकड़ते हो ना ये भी गलत है। शोल्डर से ऐसे ऐसे करो, ऐसे हिल रहे हो, नहीं हिल रहे। दाएं भी यार,